everyone, welcome to Cruising with Kim and Jen. Today we're going to do things just a little bit different because we're going to have a different topic. We're going to be talking about cruising over 50. Seniors?
Yeah,
Is it
cruising
seniors?
over 50.
Guess who-
And that's us.
It is.
Yep, we are both grandmas, moms, grandmas.
that's
I'm well over 50. She's younger than
50s.
me. I'm Kim.
And I'm Jen. So this is where we want to start. So many people have asked, why cruising? Why do we do cruising? Why have we fallen in love with cruising? And
People say, why don't you just do an all-inclusive? Well, here's the reasons.
yeah, I mean, there's so many reasons. What's one of our top reasons that we do this?
Well, I mean, we just love everything about it, but we love it because we're sampling so many different places in the world that we would never otherwise go.
Absolutely.
You
all
go
different.
to many different ports, and yes, I know you're not seeing a lot of it. You're not spending days there, but you're kind of sampling it.
Absolutely. People would be, okay, well, if you're just going to the port, you really don't get the feel. Well,
I can
we
feel
get a
it.
pretty good feel. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
you
someplace
can.
different than at the same resort.
Yeah, you can either stay right there, or you can venture out and do all the things and get a good feel
Absolutely.
of it, which is kind of another part. Like you
Absolutely.
could be cruising over 50. You have to think about, well, I can't do all those things. I don't want to zip line. I don't want to get in a four-wheeler, and you don't have to. You don't have to. You can
Absolutely.
you can do as much or as little as you want. We don't do all those things.
No.
I'm afraid of getting hurt and ending up in a
Me too.
hospital in a foreign country.
That's not, we're both
Yeah.
nurses, and that's probably the least thing that we want to do is be hurt in
No.
another country we're not familiar with.
I'm
So-
a klutz. I'm not going to invite myself getting in an accident. Now, I mean, I know stuff happens and you get sick or
Absolutely.
accidents happen, but I'm not going to invite it.
No. So that brings us to the adventure versus active. Now, you can be as adventuresome as you want. I mean, you know a lot of
Right.
people over 60, 70.
Oh, I know people in their 60s and 70s, but they're used to hiking. They're
Absolutely.
they're used to doing all the things, and so there's like cave tubing or whatever
not
you
for
call
us.
it.
Not for us.
No. I'm doing good just to walk and not fall down sometimes. So.
Well, and that is a good point. I mean, know your limitations. I mean, cruising over 50 is not like if you're in your 20s. If you are not used to hiking and doing all these things, know your limitations.
Right.
Kim and I know when we look at an excursion and they say 3-mile hike,
Yes.
strenuous, what do we do?
Right, they will even put on there if it's mild, if it's mild activity, moderate, or strenuous. If it says strenuous, we're out.
We're out.
If it says it's a mile hike, we're out.
Yep.
We're going to do the more chill things.
Absolutely.
But that's us. Everyone
Yes.
has their own agenda and
Absolutely.
things that they want to do.
We're still active with that. And so that's one thing we want to point out. Now, we have been questioned before. We've gone on many snorkeling excursions. And people go, oh, do you snorkel? Well, we did once.
We tried.
Yeah, we weren't very successful.
It gives me great anxiety.
Yeah, and she lost her thing, and I felt like I was sinking. It was just a whole thing. Okay,
not our thing.
it's not our thing. So, however, we still book those because we love going out on the different boats and ships and Bonaire. Remember Bonaire?
Yeah,
Oh,
a lady's next to me on the
fantastic.
boat says to me, are you not going to go snorkel? And I'm like, no. And she says, well, why are you even on this boat? And I thought that was kind of rude because I said, well, I'm still having a good time. There was music, there was food, there was
Open bar they had, whatever you would
and we
want.
could have
they
got
had.
out and swam. I mean,
Sure.
we didn't have to snorkel, but it was a little bit rude. But it was like, yeah, it's okay. We're having a good time without
Yes.
snorkeling. So.
You make it what you want it to be, and we'll show you some pictures of Bonaire, and we have a video on it. It was fantastic.
It was really nice
I mean,
cruise.
we loved it. So just know your limitations.
Yeah.
Another thing that you need to think of if you're over 50, and this goes for everybody, but know your budget. You know what your budget is, and we have less disposable cash. We're both single. We have lots of responsibilities. We're both approaching retirement or at retirement, but we still work full time because we enjoy traveling.
Yeah.
And
It pays for our travels.
Absolutely. And this
Yeah.
is something that we really want to do, which takes me into the one thing that you have really opened my eyes to about not procrastinating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's me now, as
Right.
at the age that I'm at now. It's like, if you're thinking about, well, maybe we'll do it when we retire or, this or that, don't put it off. Book the trip, wherever it is, a trip, a cruise, whatever. Do it now. Tomorrow isn't promised to anybody.
No.
Your health is not promised. You don't never know when you're going to be disabled, you're going to have an illness,
Right.
and maybe you won't ever get to do those things.
Absolutely.
So-
And we're having a good time while we can. And yes, we're still trying to be responsible about saving money for the future. However, like you said, we just don't ever know. So we really want to, get some memories, have some fun and do this. Doesn't mean that you can't cruise even afterwards, because let's talk about your mom and her bestie.
Oh, yeah. We have booked it. Well, we went cruising with my mom 2 years ago,
Yes.
just her, but we have booked a cruise in July of 25, and we're taking my mom and her friend, and they're both in their mid 80s.
Yes.
And they both use walkers, but they can walk. But even if you can't walk,
Absolutely.
even if you need a scooter or a wheelchair, there are accommodations. You just also know you're going to have to book an accessible room, because
Yes.
you cannot get a scooter in a regular cabin.
Or even really the walker.
The walker's
Walkers,
tough.
it's tough too.
But, yeah, the accessible, and there's not that many accessible rooms.
No.
So if you're thinking about that, book it way ahead of time. So you've secured that. They're very roomy and very accommodating for scooters. And, the elevators are a little challenging on these
For sure.
cruise ships.
Yes.
For scooters and wheelchairs, but you can do it.
Absolutely. And we're looking forward to it. So we will report back with videos on that. And the last,
we know they're going to have a great time.
oh, they're going to have a
They're
great
gonna have so
time.
much
Oh my
fun.
gosh, we have so much
There's
fun with them.
something,
Oh my
there's
goodness.
something, and this is another thing about cruising. There's something for every age group.
Oh, yes.
Every
From
age group.
littles.
You don't have to be young, or you don't have to be
No,
old.
no.
The kids have a great time.
We have videos where we've taken grandkids from, the littlest was 5. Was it Mia 5?
Yes, Mia was
Mia's
5. Yes,
And
we
so
had
teenagers in their
There's something
20s.
for
Your Caleb and Cindy were
everybody.
in their 20s. So yeah, I mean, absolutely.
There's probably on some ships more things for older people,
Yes.
or maybe a little bit more catered to older people.
Yes.
Certain cruise lines. I'm not
Agree.
sure if I'm not going to say I'm not sure. I know the 80-something-year-olds would not enjoy a carnival.
No, I do not believe
cruise.
so. At least from our perspective, we do not think
No, because they're just not into all of that partying and dancing and all
Deck
of that.
parties
Deck
and
parties.
all of that,
They're
so-
just a little more chill,
Yes.
and so there's some cruise lines that are a little more, catered to that.
Absolutely. So that's something you need to know what you want. And what we always say is you work smarter, not harder. And so that's what we're trying to do, is put out videos that kind of have a one-stop shop. Like you were saying with Carnival. We love Carnival. We love the Carnival mega ships, the big new mega ships, and they're super
love
fun.
them best, yes.
Yes, they're super fun. But we also adore Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, which we've chose to take her mom and her friend on Celebrity, because it's a little bit, I would say,
More,
it's
table
linens and more.
It's a little more bougie.
A little more bougie.
It's a little more bougie, I
that
think.
would be that would be perfect. And so, do your research. We're like, where do I start?
It is hard to know where to start. It is.
Yes.
Just if you are familiar with YouTubes, you're looking
Yes.
at our YouTube.
Yes.
Just start searching some YouTubes.
Look at the mega ships. Look at the older ships. What do you want? Do you want a 3-day? Do you want a 7-day? We just started right with the 7-day, didn't we?
We did. Well, we had an 8-day. Our first one was an 8-day.
That's right.
But I tend to think, and I think I've seen a lot of people talking to back this up. The 3- and 4-day cruises you might want to stay away from.
Yeah.
At least Carnival ones, they're a little bit more party ships.
Yes,
You're
if you're
gonna
not
have
looking for
you're
that.
going to have a lot of 20-somethings on there. especially different times of the year. There's gonna be a lot of drinking and partying going on. Doesn't mean you got to be right there with it.
No. But just kind of know.
Yeah.
And I think that's been the negative things that we have seen. We've not ever had a bad experience, and so yeah, I mean, just know what the expectation is when you go in. So
Kids is another thing. You know, a lot of adults who are way out of the kid phase, maybe older adults, the over 50s, you know, maybe you don't want to, you can't get away from kids. I mean, there are adult-only cruises. I think
True.
Virgin.
Yes.
There are a few if you absolutely don't want any kids. But, you know, in saying that, also, if you don't want a lot of kids, maybe don't go in the summer. Anytime kids are out of school,
Absolutely.
you're going to have more kids. So summer, Christmas time, spring break.
Absolutely.
There's people take kids out of school, so you're going to probably run into them any time of the year, but you're going to have more.
Right,
in the
absolutely.
summer
And then look at
Christmas
your
time.
ship. If you're on a ship that has slides and laser tag
All the
and
kid
bumper
things.
cars and things, you're probably going to have families with
Yeah.
kids. So think about that, where maybe you would prefer Celebrity that doesn't have the slides. It just has a pool
Right.
that probably wouldn't be as catered.
Not as many kids,
so.
on those, yeah,
That
for
is-
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully that this has kind of helped and will give you a starting point for cruising over 50. We are going to be on a journey. We are going on a lot of cruises coming up. So
Yeah, 2025, well, the end of this year and 2025 is going to
we
be
are packed.
pretty
So-
action-packed.
So we're going to be showing you cruises, cruising on a budget, cruising, trying to go to different locations, different ships, different cruise lines as well. So we're hoping that you come along, and we're going to tag one extra thing in there, fitness while cruising. We're going to try.
A lot of people really want to, are you talking about like the exercise, the gym and stuff like that?
Yeah, the gym and just how we're going to be trying to eat
Oh,
right. So
for us, fitness for us. Yes, to do better. We're going to
Doing
try
better.
to get ourselves in a
Yes.
little better shape.
Yes.
It's not easy, but we're trying.
we're going to try. So we'll add that in there
We'll
as well.
update you as we go along.
Yes, starting today. So
Yes.
So-
We're trying to be better.
yes.
Yeah.
So we hope that you've enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.